interesting just from the outside.
I want to be in the museum.
You try to be quiet a bit.
I want a museum.
Yes.
I'm super jealous of them, obviously.
See, so they've renovated the outside of these, but there's no doorknobs on these doors, so I don't know.
It's for looks, yeah, for looks.
Eventually they may
Yeah.
finish the inside and all that. Then they'll probably put a doorknob on.
Beautiful. They're just, you know, not as nice as the pioneer house on Main Street. And this street actually continues. This is where we're gonna go. Yeah.
Take a few steps over and take a look.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think somebody lives in the one on the left. But
So these guys were, all they did was pick out slate.
yes, they were slate pickers.
So
Yeah,
they're,
a lot of them had detached kitchen dwelling. Sometimes they would connect them into one big long house like this. Yeah.
oh wow.
It's pretty. Sorry.
So that's the kitchen?
Yeah, so that would be the kitchen.
It's actually a double, and one was slightly nicer than the other, depending on what the family could afford. And they had large yards, so they could actually plant crops for themselves.
Yeah.
And then over time, as it got a little more modernized, they would build and connect these.
Yeah, to give it more.
Give them a bigger house and
Cool.
get the kitchen connected.
Oh yeah, that's not good. But
So
the
when you guys
first-
were digging, what did you find?
Well, the find that I was the most excited about is we found two little crystals, almost like jewelry, like crystals, like you would get in a crystal shop.
Okay.
And there was no reason for those to be here except for the fact that they had them as like talismans. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
And we ended up finding like a whole bunch of clay pipe pieces, which was pretty common, but it was just really fun for me because it was so recognizable. You know, when you would find a stem with like the tiny
Right.
hole that went all the way through it.
That's
part
cool.
of the like, you know, the what do you call the part that you put the tobacco in?
The pipe?
The right, the cup or whatever.
The cup, yeah.
So, but this was a foundation that we helped with two summers ago.
Oh, check that out.
You can see under all the weeds there's a foundation here.
Right.
But
Wow,
this
that's
house was just like the slate picker's house on the other side of the
Okay.
trees here. Now what they did was they wanted to strip mine here, so they took a lot of these out. And these continued down, all the way down to the breaker. But
Yeah, they just cleared it off.
they tore down the houses and they ripped out most of the foundations. Only a few of the foundations are left over because they stripped mines
Okay.
where they were.
Hmm.
But there's one there, and then this one is the one that they did this summer that I missed. But they were over here digging in this one this year.
They were digging actually within the foundation.
Oh, really?
And finding
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, inside and outside.
Yeah,
Back then, the old
right
days-
outside here 2 years ago, they found. Remember when they found the pipe? It was like a
There
like
was
a
sewage
water pipe
Yeah,
that
the
led
sewage- it was a sewage
probably
pipe.
back to the kitchen dwelling. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was an upgrade that was probably done, you know, as late
Yeah,
as
later.
the 60s.
Right.
Because, again, this is a mining village, and then when the mining stopped, people just sort of reused the buildings and started moving in and using it just
Yeah.
for regular use, and
Right.
then eventually Pennsylvania came in and
But I
tried
was
to preserve
digging
what
right
they can.
there. I was like doing the scraping and putting it in the bucket, and I would take it over here and pour it in the screen and shake the screen out, and then pick out all the little, you know, bits that you find. And the cool thing about this project is that all of the artifacts that they found were cataloged, and then they're sent to the State Museum of Pennsylvania, and they're going to be there on file. So, like, if anyone who's doing research about
Oh, that's
these
cool.
people at that time, they can go to the State Museum and request to see these artifacts and look at
Awesome.
them and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Very
it was
cool.
Anyway, so after Mitch and I, helped out, we were just like walking this way, and we decided to try to find the cemetery, and we found it. So we're just gonna retrace our steps, and it's pretty mind-blowing.
Sweet.
Pretty mind-blowing.
Where were the holes here that they did?
Inside the whole thing. Yeah, look, you can see the door was. Yeah, they were digging in here. I actually had to ask them if they were digging here because they did such a good job backfilling. Yeah, they did such a good job backfilling and making it look like they weren't even here. But yeah, this is the foundation where they were digging. They found, they were showing, I asked each of the students what their favorite pieces were. And the one girl said they found a little cast iron rocking horse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's awesome.
Again, this would be the main house.
Yeah, half and half.
Then we've got a kitchen out in the back. Some more
What is that?
just little chunks of pottery, ceramics that are laying around. Again, what they would do is in the old days, nice, bottom of a plate. What they would do in the old days, back then, a lot of their refuse like this, if it would break, they just toss it out the window. So around the outside of the foundation, if you dig, you pull this stuff up too. Besides just tossing it.
One student was really excited about this find here. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, a frog.
A frog?
A frog.
Oh yeah, look at him.
He's so big.
You can't climb that tree.
He's like, I'm gonna run from this guy.
Oh, he's cute.
He's on the other side looking playing hide and seek.
Ah.
He doesn't want to be held.
But I want the frog.
He's not a tree frog.
Come here. Amy's fast.
She was so excited to see us yesterday. Because my dad had taken her up, like, down.
There he is.
Oh, so cute. Look at the picture of you took.
How much fishing up there to do that.
Right.
So he took her, but it was like,
We're starting to get a lot of slate already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big pile over there.
Getting great video of your butt.
that's a cute butt.
Then the landscape changes.
Wow.
There's a piece for you, Deb.
That's a little big.
I think they should take that home. You got down on the other side and you said, oh good, we're here. And then no, there's another mountain in front of us. Wow, it's really grown over
Holy
since we did
cow, was not this grown over when
No,
we
it was
were
all
here
cut
before.
back.
Yeah.
This makes it a little creepier.
Right. born November 17th, 1880, died November 17th, 1881, aged 1 year. And Rachel Hoffman actually died when she was 38 in 1896. I can't read the bottom. Like, I keep trying to get close to see what it says, like if it gives any insight into why she died so young, but it wasn't the childbirth. I thought it was that, but it's not, you know.
That's some massive tires. I could put those on my Soul, my Kia Soul.
Yeah.
Some badass Kia Soul.
Huge. Well, they, I don't know how you get these things on and off rims, but it must be from
They have little
what they
tires
call them.
inside of big tires.
Signs over here, yeah. It looks much better from the front. Since it was made for a movie, you know.
Yeah, it's more of a movie set from the back, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is sort of cool. Cool stand.
Although
Yeah.
it's still even falling apart.
But it did. You can see start kind of rolling.
First came here, like first ever came here, I thought the breaker was real. And this sign is what told me it was from the movie set.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you see it doesn't attach, but like from here, you can see this angle, which is probably similar to what they used in the movie.
Right, it looks like it's...
It looks like it's all
It looks like
connected
it's
and it's a
attached.
full-size thing, yeah. It's all perspective and
So yeah, from
We'll see
here,
when we
yeah,
get
it's
down to the
definitely not
road.
attached.
Oh, look, they have the car down there.
Little hut shack over there.
Yeah. There's a structure in there somewhere. I think
I think
it's
it
actually
fell over.
buried in the vegetation, but that may have been where the original mine came
it's
out.
possible, yeah, because there's a
Because of where it's positioned in the town, but like the cars would come up out of the underground mine and go up this track and then dump in the top of the breaker, and then they would process it in the different levels, and then it would, you know, enter into the cars here and just ship out of town, you know. So I would imagine it was the underground mine probably began there. People aren't supposed to come in, it's like employee. But so he was just
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
we
very
sure
end of
paid
town.
that.
Donna.
Hi.
Very cool. Old, but cool exterior. I wouldn't mind living here. It's quiet. Beautiful view of the mountain. At the end of the road, nobody bothers you. This is beautiful. There's Donna again. I think we can get a view inside. You peek out. Yeah.
We had a guy under the table, so he was like the spirit voice, you know. Everybody loved it, man. They were like, you know, like when he spoke for the first time. It's funny. Oh yeah. Huh. That is. Great guy.
That's the way we were before, so if anybody needs a bee sting,
If you're starting to fall asleep or something, you need something to snap
To wake
out
you
of
up.
your leg.
one leg is a little skinnier than the other.
Or if you're like a couple of screams short for the day, you know,